Hi everyone, Mrs. Calvi here. I'm going to do a quick review on solving multi-step equations. So just a little step further than solving two-step equations. So there are several things going on here. So right here we have 7n minus 1 minus 2n equals 14. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine like terms. So I see that I have a positive 7n and a negative 2n. You have to take that sign with it. I'm going to combine those two. So a positive 7n and a negative 2n leaves me with a positive 5n. I'm going to drop down the rest of the problem. Minus 1 is equal to 14. So now I'm looking at solving a two-step equation. So right now it went from a multi-step equation to a two-step equation. I want to get rid of my constant first. I want to get rid of that minus 1, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Positive and negative 1's cancel. I'm left with 5n is equal to 14 plus 1 gives me 15. I now need to get rid of that 5 that is with my n, being its multiplication. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. My 5's on my left cancel. I'm finally left with my variable by itself. N is equal to 15 divided by 5 is going to give me 3. So my final answer is n is equal to 3. Now you can go ahead and plug in that 3 for both of your n's to see if the left side equals the right side. So if I take 7 times 3 minus 1 minus 2 times 3, it should equal 14 once you solve the left side. Remember, you have to follow the rules of order of operations, PEMDAS. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply. So 7 times 3 is 21. So that would give me 21. Minus 1 minus 2 times 3. It's kind of sloppy because I'm writing over it. You know what? Let me erase this so you can see it a little bit better. Why don't I do that? All right. Let me just rewrite the whole problem. So the original problem was 7n minus 1 minus 2n is equal to 14, and we ended up coming up with an answer of n equaling 3. So right now we're plugging 3 back into the n values. And we're looking to see if that equals 14. Okay, so now 21, order of operations. So I'm going to write down the rest of the problem. Follow the order of operations. I'm going to solve multiplication now. So drop down the 21, drop down the minus sign, the 1. Here, a negative times a positive gives me a negative 6. Looking to see if that equals 14. So now 21 minus 1 minus 6. Integer rules, don't forget here, okay? So 21 minus 1 gives me 20. Solving from left to right, order of operations. And 20 minus 6 would give me 14. So 14 would equal 14. I know n is equal to 3 is correct. Okay? So let's try another one here. So if I have 3 times x minus 1, close parentheses, plus 8 is equal to 14, multi-step, okay? So here, I need to make sure that I am distributing that 3 inside of my parentheses. So this 3 gets distributed inside. So a positive 3 times a positive x gives me positive 3x. So a positive 3 times a negative 1. A positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 1 is 3. Drop down the rest of the problem. Okay? So now I need to combine like terms. So I am going to be combining -3 and +8 are like terms. I can combine those. So I'm dropping down my 3x because I'm not using that yet. A -3 and a +8. The signs are different. I'm subtracting, taking the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 8, and that has a positive. And now I'm subtracting the 2, and I'm going to get 5. Drop down the equal sign, drop down the 14. Now I'm down to a two-step problem, right? So I am subtracting 5 on both sides. I have 3x. These cancel. 14 minus 5 is going to give me 9. And then I need to divide both sides by 3. Running out of room, guys, sorry. So if I would divide both sides by 3, divide by 3, these 3's cancel. And then x is equal to 9 divided by 3, where x is equal to 3 here. Okay. Now, to check, you would go and plug 3 in for this x and see if it works out. Okay, which it would. You would distribute again and look to see that the left side equals the right side. All right. Okay, now we're going to do a word problem. Word problem you need to really pay attention to because there's a lot going on in the word problem. All right, so first thing, let me go to where the word problem is. It says Jamal owns twice as many graphic novels as Levi owns. Adding 6 to the number of graphic novels Jamal owns and then dividing by 7 gives the number Brooke owns. Brooke owns 30 graphic novels. How many does Levi own? A lot of information here. You have to take it step by step, okay? So it says that Jamal owns twice as many graphic novels as Levi. Twice means 2 times, right? So that means 2 times however many Levi owns. We don't know how many Levi owns because it's telling us in the problem that we want to find out how many Levi owns. So we now know that our unknown is Levi's number. So we're going to use the variable L for that. Okay, so 2 times L, that's where I'm starting. So I know it has to be 2 times L. And I'm going to do a cursive L just because I don't want it to look like a 1. All right, now let's go back to see what the problem says. So twice as many as Levi, we took care of that. Adding 6 to the number of graphic novels Jamal owns. Let's see. Hold on. So adding 6 to the amount that Jamal owns. All right, so now going back to the problem. All right, so we added 6 to the number of graphic novels that Jamal owns. It then says, then dividing by 7 gives the number Brooke owns. So now what we just did, we now have to divide that by 7. And then it tells us Brooke owns 30 graphic novels. So we know that we are making this equal to 30. All right. And then what we're doing is we are solving this multi-step equation. All right. So in order to solve this multi-step equation, I'm going to want to get rid of this 7 here. And I can do that by multiplying, because this is division going on here right now, right? So this is division. So the opposite of division is going to be multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. These will cancel. I'm left with 2L plus 6 is equal to, if I were to do 30 times 7, that would give me 210. That's mental math. So now I'm down to a 2-step problem. I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. I'm going to be left with 2L is equal to 210 minus 6 is going to give me 204. My final step is to divide both sides by 2. I have my variable finally by itself, and 204 divided by 2 gives me 102. So Levi owns 102 graphic novels. So we literally looked at the word problem step by step, wrote exactly what they were saying, and solved. All right, that is it for now, and I will talk to you soon.